Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If you're listening to this, you're someone who values efficiency. You want that shortcut to being well-informed.
And today we're doing more than just analyzing a source.
We're really trying to shatter what might be the single most dangerous belief we're all taught, this idea that actively prevents wealth creation.
And it's a simple one, the belief that money is just a function of time.
Exactly. We're diving into week 28 of the wealth equation, and the mission here is, I think, fundamental.
It is. We have to introduce scalability into how you think about income. If you believe your income is tied directly to the hours you work, you're in a capped system.
And we need to break that cap.
We have to.
Okay, let's unpack this right away with a visual from the source material. It just makes the whole thing click.
Yeah, this is where it all falls apart.
So I want you to imagine two people. First, there's a man digging a ditch. He's out there 12 hours a day. He's sweating. His back hurts. It is the very picture of hard work.
Right. Traditional, painful effort.
For all that effort, he's earning maybe, what, $30,000 a year?
Yeah.
That's linear.
Now, contrast that image. Person number 2 is a coder.
Totally different scene.
They're sitting in an air-conditioned office, maybe sipping a latte. They work 4, maybe 5 focused hours. Then they're done for the day.
And at the end of the year, that coder has earned $3 million.
The gap is just, it's huge.
It's staggering. And it forces you to ask this really uncomfortable question, We're taught that the hard worker deserves the reward.
But that's not what's happening here. The person working far fewer physical hours is earning 100 times more.
So is the coder 100 times smarter? I mean, maybe, but that seems unlikely. Are they working 100 times harder?
Absolutely not. Physically, they're working so much less.
Right. So the problem here isn't intelligence. It isn't even effort. The problem is the economic system they're each operating in.
That's the key. The ditch digger is trapped. His output is measured only by his physical input, by his time. The coder, on the other hand, has achieved scalability.
And that's the difference we need to dig into today. This separation between, linear effort and nonlinear reward.
Because most of us, when we start our careers, we're trained to be the ditch digger. Even highly educated people.
We get stuck in that equation. Salary equals your hourly rate times the hours you work.
And if you want to make more money in that system, you have, 2 choices? You can work more hours, which leads to burnout.
Or you can try to get a raise.
Yeah.
Increase your rate.
But that's where the ceiling comes in, right? The tough reality of linear income is that there's a hard limit.
A biological one. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can't make more. You can hustle. You can cut sleep, but you will hit a wall.
You're running up a down escalator. And even if you're a high-value specialist, like a doctor, your potential is still capped by your physical presence.
Yeah, your income can go up, but your total capacity to earn, it's fixed.
And I see this with so many high achievers. They've done everything right. They're earning 6, maybe 7 figures, but they still feel trapped.
The source uses a perfect example for this. The highly paid surgeon.
Right. That surgeon is definitely high income. Their rate is massive. They're incredibly skilled.
But think about it. If that doctor decides to stop doing surgery for, say, 6 months to travel, what happens?
The money stops immediately.
Because they are still, at the end of the day, trading time for money. It's very valuable time, but it's still being rented out.
They're highly paid, but not truly free. And that's the insight. The moment your income requires your active direct time, you are tied to the clock.
And wealthy people, they see this trap and they just refuse to play the game.
They know that real wealth, which is about freedom, not just income, means you must decouple your time from your money.
Decoupling. It sounds a little abstract. What does that actually mean, to disconnect effort from output?
It means the work you do up front, its value is totally separate from how many times it can be sold. In linear work, 10 hours of input equals 10 units of pay.
Always.
With decoupling, that same 10 hours could result in 0, or it could result in 1 billion units of pay. The potential is, infinite.
And the source gives us the perfect way to think about this. Writing a book.
Exactly. Let's say a writer spends 1,000 hours, focused, miserable, wonderful hours, crafting a book.
That's the fixed input. It's done. Those 1,000 hours are locked in.
And the magic is, once it's done, that book is decoupled. It can sell 10 copies while the writer is asleep.
Or it could sell 10 million copies while they're on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
The time they put in stays the same, but the output is totally disconnected.
They leverage their effort, and that disconnect is powered by one single word: Leverage.
Leverage. That's the mechanism.
It's what lets you move the world without having to provide all the brute force yourself. It's that old Archimedes quote, right? Give me a lever long enough and I will move the world.
What he's really saying is you don't need infinite strength. You just need the right tool.
And for the listener, this is the key. 1 hour of your work, leveraged correctly, can have infinite potential for pay. You have to stop focusing on your hourly rate and start focusing on applying leverage.
Okay, so leverage is the way out. But when people hear leverage, they might think of like debt or financial trading. What forms does it actually take?
The source gives us 4 specific pillars, and they break down into what we can call the old leverage and the new leverage.
Let's start with the old, the first pillar.
Labor leverage. This is the oldest one in the book, just hiring people.
So instead of digging the ditch yourself,
You start a company and hire 10 people to dig it with you. You're now making money from the time and effort of 11 people, including yourself.
your output is immediately multiplied. It's effective, but the source calls it messy.
It is messy because you solve the time problem, but you create a huge management problem. People are expensive, they need training, supervision.
And all of that takes up your time.
Your energy shifts from doing the work to managing the workers.
Okay, which brings us to the second pillar of old leverage.
Capital leverage. This is having your money work for you separate from your own labor.
So investing,
Yeah.
stocks, real estate, that kind of thing.
Exactly. This is how bankers get rich. They use money to make more money. It generates returns without them needing to be there.
But that sounds like it has a huge barrier to entry, right? I mean, you need money to make money. Is this pillar just for people who are already wealthy?
That's a fair point. And traditionally, yes, it was. But the source is clear that some capital leverage applies to everyone. It just starts small.
Like basic, consistent investing.
Yes. Letting compound interest work as your lever. It might take decades, but the principle is the same. Your money is doing the work.
But the real game changer in the last 20 years has been the democratization of leverage.
Exactly. The internet made the next 2 pillars available to pretty much anyone. This is the new leverage. Pillar 3, media leverage.
Media leverage is huge because it just breaks the laws of physical reproduction. One creation can be experienced by millions.
I mean, think about this deep dive right now. We spent, what, an hour preparing and talking?
Something like that.
But thousands of people can listen to it. I don't have to repeat the speech for every single person. That 1 hour is leveraged across the whole audience.
And the key feature the source points to is zero marginal cost of reproduction.
Right. It takes time to make the first copy, the first video, the first podcast. But the second copy, or the millionth copy, costs basically nothing.
It's like having an army of digital robots working for you 24/7.
Whether you're writing a viral thread on social media or building a YouTube channel, you are turning your one-time effort into a scalable asset.
Okay, and that brings us to the last one, the ultimate accelerator, code leverage.
This is software. Code is basically a hyper-efficient version of labor leverage.
Instead of hiring 10 people to do a task,
You write a script or build an app one time, and then a billion people can use that app instantly.
the effort to serve the billionth customer is the same as the effort to serve the first. Just pure scale.
Code is pure thought, scaled globally. And that's why the coder, in our first example, can make millions working 4 hours a day. They're not paid for their time. They're paid for the reach of the asset they created.
Okay, so we have the trap, which is linear income, and we have the 4 tools to get out: labor, capital, media, and code. Now comes the hard part for everyone listening.
The self-assessment.
You have to look at how you make money right now and be brutally honest. Is it linear? If you take a month off, does your income just stop?
Or is it nonlinear? Is it selling an asset you already built?
Because most people, even the high earners, they're going to find they're trapped in linear work. They're busy, but they're capped.
You're renting out your time. And you have to shift from renting your time to building equity. You need an asset mindset.
And an asset, for our purposes here, is something that earns while you sleep.
Your time is finite. Your assets can be scalable.
So what does this mean for someone who provides a service? A coach, a consultant? Their whole business is based on time.
The advice here is very specific. Productize your service. If you're a coach teaching the same 5 steps to 40 different clients every year,
You're repeating yourself constantly.
that repetition is a huge unrecognized opportunity. You have to stop selling hours and start selling the transformation or the system.
So you package that knowledge, you make a template, you record the course once.
Let's get really practical. A financial advisor. Instead of just doing hourly consults, they could build a proprietary budgeting spreadsheet that people license. or a portfolio dashboard.
We could create a retirement planning framework that other, newer advisors pay a subscription to use.
Yes, you're selling the system, not the time spent explaining it. You're applying media and code leverage to your knowledge. You go from being the artisan who builds every single chair by hand.
To the person who sells the blueprints and the specialized tools to build the chair.
That's the pivot point. That is the core challenge from the source for this week.
Identify one recurring, time-bound task that makes you money and figure out how to asymptotize it.
Stop teaching the same lesson 50 times. Record it once. Stop solving the same manual problem every day. Write a script to automate it.
Because if you don't, well, the source delivers a pretty brutal truth.
It's a bit harsh, but it needs to sink in. If you cannot figure out how to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. You will never escape the need to trade your active time for survival.
That's a powerful thought, and really brings home the urgency of making this shift. It's not just about getting rich.
It's about regaining control of your life.
So, to recap, working harder is a dead end. The way out is to decouple your effort from your reward by using one of the 4 types of leverage: labor, capital, media, or code.
The goal is to build scalable assets, not to rent out your time by the hour.
In understanding this framework, it really is the shortcut to being well-informed about how wealth is actually built today. It gives you a new lens to look at every opportunity.
Is this building an asset for me? Or is it just consuming my time?
And that strategic question leads us perfectly into our next deep dive. Week 29 hints that the very definition of wealth is misunderstood.
It has nothing to do with what you spend. It has everything to do with the golden goose.
Golden goose, I love that analogy. It forces you to look at the system, not the output. So before our next deep dive, think about that.
Are you spending all your energy collecting the golden eggs? Or are you focused on feeding and protecting the goose that lays them?
Apply that principle of assetization this week. We'll see you for the next dive.